Welcome back to another episode of Cafecito Corner. My name is Bree.
And I'm Edward.
And we are your host of this podcast where we drink cafecito in the morning and talk about our lives. What are we drinking today, Edward?
I got a brown shaken espresso. I just found out what a espresso does for you, so...
What do you mean? What does it do for you?
It's just way stronger and it's not that much coffee.
It's just pure espresso.
Yeah. So I've been giving it a shot. I actually like it a lot.
I wonder if they put one or two espressos.
I don't know. I definitely think it's two because it's really strong. But
so you're gonna be bouncing off the walls today.
I mean, when I've had it this whole week, it hasn't been too bad.
Yeah.
But I was going to ask you, what episode is this? 16?
This is 16.
Wow.
I really am proud of us because...
16 weeks is 4 months.
Shut up. 4 months?
Yeah. Since we started it.
Oh my God.
So that means we started it in May?
No, we started in June.
Well, no, that makes sense because we're about to enter October.
Yeah. That's crazy. I really am proud of us because I did not think we were going to ride this long.
I didn't think you were going to commit that long.
Yeah. I think what's helped us is we found days that have worked for us to film. And for me, that I'm the one editing, I found how to break it up in sections throughout the week because editing is hours and hours. So I found kind of things that helped me and we've figured out a routine and a schedule. So I'm proud of us. 16 weeks going on strong.
And I think we had a week that we didn't film.
Yeah.
It was like a family emergency week. So I really do think we are already past the 4-month mark.
And who was saying that past episode 11?
I think it's 20.
No, you said 11, I swear.
Oh, well, I don't know. But it was just basically this guy that talks about when you commit to something and then he talks about basically
a 3-month mark.
No, how to start a trend. And then so he was saying to start trends within yourself, you have to go 30 days or something.
Oh, okay.
But with podcasts, he was saying statistically they die after the 10th episode because people stop posting them or they give up because they don't see the results. So I mean that'll be kind of cool. We're 6 weeks from doubling that. So
yeah, and I think we went into it we're not going to look at the numbers because I feel like when people go into this, they get discouraged that maybe not 10,000 people are listening to them right away. And it's I think we took it into let's do this for fun.
But to me, it's not even about the numbers. Even when you kind of look at it, sometimes we'll look at the amount of I think it's
listeners.
Whatever you use for the podcast part of it, the actual audio.
Oh, the downloads, how many downloads?
Yeah. So it's the downloads, but I don't know whatever website you use to track it. Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool. Because it kind of shows you the map and you can kind of see because you can kind of tell that's my family because mm-hmm. they're watching from this state or if it's a random state you're oh what the heck
we have a lot of listeners in different states.
Yeah.
And that our family are not in, so I think that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I remember the first couple episodes, we had a bunch of listeners in Alaska. I'm are these guys fishing and listening to us?
New Mexico.
Yeah, that was random.
That one was super cool.
The
Wisconsin.
Mexico ones are cool because I doubt I have family in those states.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, I don't think you do.
No, I don't have family over there, but I don't know. It's cool, and I think it's something that we do for fun. And
yeah.
We're just you know what? It's our therapy session with each other, and we're just gonna have fun with it.
But even then, think about it, whatever. If you get at the span of the whatever amount of time it takes a video to die down, 200 people to listen. That's a lot of people. Imagine talking to 200 people.
200 people in a room listening to us. Imagine if we had a crowd right now.
Yeah. So that's why I do respect the podcast. I get 10,000 followers and stuff because I'm dude, you kind of have to tiptoe.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, I'm kind of controversial.
Yeah, I think a lot of people go after you in the comments.
Oh, for sure. And I feel you slow me down. I'm I don't care what people think. I'm
Yeah.
I'll say what I gotta say. Like, it's my opinion.
But nowadays, it's like you have to be so careful with what you say, and we can't really say everything. We gotta be a little
Yeah, no, I agree with that. But like,
filter it
I'm not
out.
controversial in the sense of like offending people. I just think that like a lot of people don't agree with like,
with your opinion.
yeah,
And you say your opinion.
yeah. But to me, it's like that's the whole point of.
We'll never disrespect people, but we're just saying our opinion on here. And some people might get a little pressed about that.
I know that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
But this is our podcast, and we are what is that word? Unapologetic
What?
unapologetic ourselves. We are unapologetically.
What?
What's that word?
I don't even know where you're going
We
for.
are unapology. And where there's a word like we are unapologetically ourselves. Like,
Unapologetically?
yes. Amen,
Like,
sister.
oh, okay. It took me a while to see what
Amen.
you're going for. Unapologetic. What? Now I messed it up. Unapologetically.
Unapologetically.
No, you can't say it. What? Do you struggle saying words?
Yeah, I have a small tongue, so it's like I can't say words like how I want.
A small tongue? Let me see.
No.
So when I was little and I moved to like the US, well, I was like 12. I wasn't that little. But I couldn't do a lot of things. So, or say a lot of things, I'm sorry. And like one of my first days of class, like I had no idea how to like ask people like, oh, can I use the restroom now? So I said, can I go to the toilet? Because that's all I knew.
Instead of can I go to the bathroom?
Yeah,
because
because I couldn't think of bathroom,
teacher?
and I remembered the toilet because I had like this like flashcard, right? So I got bullied
dead.
like for like 3 days about it.
So you're like, what is
So
toilet?
that day, I promised myself I was going to learn English,
So
and
you
I'd go
asked
home
the
and read.
teacher,
Yeah,
can I use the
I
toilet?
raised my hand. I'm like, can I go to the toilet or something like that?
Aww.
And like, because I had a flashcard, I remember, and like I remember the word toilet specifically.
Yeah.
So I got bullied. But then we had a neighbor. His name was Carter, and that was like the hardest thing for me to say, like on the planet, like because like when you're first like learning a new language, like it doesn't sound like like if someone tried to speak Spanish, like it'll sound like an accent. You know, you got to practice.
You have an heavy accent when you come.
Yeah, no. So I had a heavy one, and Carter was the hardest word for me. And of course, the one neighbor next door, his name was Carter, and we would go hang out with him. And I'm like, Carter.
Carter. What would you call him? Carter.
Like Carter.
Carter.
And then I'd be like, God.
Carter.
So I'd go home every night. I'm like, Carter. And then I was like, finally I got it down.
Carter.
That was the hardest. And there was a bunch of words that I like used to remember, like that I used to struggle so much saying, and people would bully me about them. Like, and sometimes they pop up. Like, I say Minnie Mouse.
Minnie Mouse.
But what's her name?
Minnie.
What's Minnie Mouse's name?
Minnie Mouse.
And I say Minnie Mouse.
Minnie Mouse.
Yeah.
You say me instead of me. Minnie Mouse.
I say Minnie.
Minnie
like,
Mouse.
But it's Minnie.
It's me, not me.
It's Minnie.
Me.
No, it's not me.
It's Minnie Mouse, not Minnie Mouse.
I say Minnie Mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like things
I
like that.
never noticed that.
But
I
a lot
thought
of those things like also got drilled in me in Mexico. That's what they call them in Mexico. Like, you know, there's a whole thing that
There's so many things like la pizza.
like
I que got a pizza.
ketchup, capsup. They call it capsup.
Walmart.
Yeah,
La Walmart.
but you know what's funny?
La Walmart.
Okay, are you choking?
Something I'm trying to get out of my throat.
No, the Star Wars guy R2D2.
Artudito.
People thought in Mexico for the longest time. I've heard this thousands of times that they thought his name was Arturito, like
Arturito.
Arthur, like
Yeah.
Arturito.
Yeah.
Right? But his name is R2D2.
D2.
Like, it's like a code.
Yeah. That's so funny.
Yeah, but they would call him Arturito because like that's just how you hear it in Mexico. Like, things don't like just get a new name because they got created in the United States. So I think like that stuff like that got drilled into me, and people don't understand when somebody comes from Mexico, like they just come like wired that way.
What are some other words that maybe like Hispanic people say funny in English?
Well, actually, there's this whole thing about like English names. Like, have you seen those trends where they're like, you know, as a Hispanic marrying a white guy or a white girl, like you have to overthink what you're gonna name your kid. And then like
I know one.
And they're always like, oh, I named my kid Camila. Oh no, Valentina. Now they call her Tapatio. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
or Savannah, La Sabana.
Yeah,
La
like
Sabana.
that. Yeah.
La Sabana.
So when I run into those videos, like, to me they're hilarious.
Before you move on, Camila la Cameo. Remember that song that you showed me? Oh,
Camelia la Tejana.
Camila la Tejana.
That's not even how it goes.
I swear to God, that's how it goes. You showed me that song.
Wow. If the Tigres del Norte heard you,
they'd hire me. Baby, they would hire me so quick.
They'd send you back.
They would hire me so quick. Camila la Tejana. Yes. I remember.
And then, yeah, just things like that. This guy was like, oh, we named our daughter Jean. And my parents call her La Pantalon.
Pantalon.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, things like that you gotta overthink. Because people come, like, wired different. But let me think of words that, like, that happens with.
I think
But for sure, Katsup is one of them.
Katsup. Like, if somebody named their child Katsup?
No, I'm saying, like, that's not... that's not the word. They just take it from ketchup.
Mm-hmm.
Or...
If there's some other words, we'll think of them.
Yeah.
But we have to be careful with what we're going to name our kids, too. Because I feel like since your parents mostly speak Spanish, they're going to, like, botch
bully
their
them?
names. Yeah. Like, if
No,
we
they're gonna
choose
bully
something
them.
very Americanized.
Yeah, I mean, my name is Edward, so I don't think it'll be a problem. I don't know how the hell my parents came across that.
They came from Mexico and they said, what is the most American name we can name our child? And they come up with Edward.
I think I've actually heard the story. I think my dad was reading a book and he liked that name. Because he was naming us all with E's.
Mm-hmm. He wanted to be like the Kardashians, huh?
Well, the Kardashians didn't exist.
So you're telling me you were the first Kardashian?
My dad started the Kardashian trend, yes.
I cannot.
So, Edward. And then even like in Mexico, when I lived in Mexico, they're like, Eduard? Te faltó la O? Like, you're missing the O? I'm like, I'm not Eduardo. Mm-hmm. I'm just Edward.
Yeah.
And then they wouldn't put the D at the end. And then they would do Eduard instead of W. Eduard. Oh, God.
I met you in high school and I literally was like, you told me your name and I was like, no, like, what's your name? You're like, no, it's Edward. I'm like, no. Like, really, what's your name?
That never happened.
Well, it happened in my head.
Do you know how messed up that is? Just because you saw me a little brown, my name can be Edward?
Still to this day, I tell you every day I wake up, your name does not match you.
What do I look like?
You look like a Sebastian to me.
What? Mm-hmm. Like a Joan Sebastian?
Mm-hmm. Or a Manolo.
No, I don't look like a Manolo.
You know, that's the number one name in Mexico right now that people are naming their kids.
What?
Manolo.
That's a lie.
Yes, it is. I saw it in an article the other day.
From where? Who was the source?
MexicoNews.com.
You actually liked a song, a name recently, and you were telling me about it. Was it Sebastian, though?
It was Sebastian. Oh, we know so many people named Sebastian.
Or, no, never mind. That was an artist. Never mind.
I think we can name you Snoopy Jr.
No.
Okay.
But you definitely look more like a Vanessa than a Brianna.
Don't tell my parents that. They will come and kick you.
You look more like a Vanessa, I swear.
So my middle name is Vanessa, and
There's a theory.
No, we're not gonna say that theory. Maybe we'll say the theory in the future. If you guys remind us. Anyways, my name is Brianna Vanessa Garfio. And when I was the age of 11 or 12, I was trying to change my name. Like, I made a Facebook with the name, a Pinterest with the name Vanessa, a Tumblr with Vanessa, a Snapchat with Vanessa. I literally was like, my goal was I was going to go to junior high and people were going to call me Vanessa and it was just going to stick. And never did. And I had all these social media handles.
Now people call you Brie.
Now people call me Brie. Yeah, I don't like that. I do not like my name. I do not like Brianna. It does not fit me.
You know, for like a year and a half, my parents thought No, it was like a year. My parents thought your name was Brittany.
Brittany?
Because we would just call you Brie. And like they just assume it was Brittany because we have a bunch of cousins named Brittany. They're like, oh, so her name's Brittany. I'm like, it's Brianna. They're like, oh, that
You
is
were
another
like,
option.
don't you dare call her Brittany if she comes
I know.
over because I'm gonna throw some hands.
Well, they were just like, well, all your cousins they call them Breeze because they're Brittany's. And I was like, nah, that makes sense.
I think that's something we have in common. We don't like our names.
You don't like your name?
I don't like my name.
You don't like when I call you by your name?
I want to change it. Yeah, that
like
too.
full
You
name, you
traumatize
hate
me.
that.
I hate when you call me Brittany.
Well, the thing is when I'm like locked in and I'm like, Brenna, come here. And you're like,
that.
why are you mad? I'm like, I just have a question.
I get triggered when Edward calls me my full name because my dad calls me my full name every time I would get in trouble.
But your dad does it with attitude. Brenna.
And you do it with tone too.
How do I do it with tone? I'm just like, Brenna, come look at this.
This is not the podcast episode, let me tell you. Anyways, I still think I look like a Vanessa, and maybe when I change my last name, I'll change my first name too.
To what?
To Vanessa.
Wow. They're not gonna call you la doble P like Peso Pluma. They're gonna call you the W.
La W?
Yeah.
Oh, I cannot.
La W.
Let's get into our peak and pits of the week. I have a couple.
Nah.
I have a couple.
Go.
My peak of the week. One of them was that I got a haircut.
Oh, you did?
9 inches gone. Chopped off to the floor. Let me tell you. And I did not think I was going to get it that short until I woke up the next morning. I go, where's my hair? What did they do to my hair? And now I have to just drink a lot of collagen so it grows fast.
Collagen and
hair, nails. Yeah, all of it. But I like it. I think the long hair was bringing my face down. I got home. Huh?
What do you mean bring your face down?
Like, me estaba mirando como muy like cansada, like triste.
Yeah, you look different.
You know? Now I feel like I have more life to myself.
You have a different glow.
And I got home and I was like, babe, look. And nada.
That's a lie.
Nada.
That's a lie.
I cut my hair.
That's a lie.
You're like, oh, it looks good. I'm like, wow.
No,
so I closed myself in a closet and cried for 10 minutes.
No, you're totally confusing that. You were giving a speech, and I got caught up on the fact that you looked ready. And I was like, hey, what the heck? Like, the speech is today. And then you got mad that I didn't compliment the hair, but I wanted to go to the speech, and you didn't let me go. You
were more focused on going to this talk that I was going to give.
I wanted to go.
And I was excited.
If I was talking in public, I would want you to listen.
That's your thing. I would go because you want me there. But I did not want you to go to this speech.
You almost cried. That was like way too much.
About what?
About me going.
Okay, so let's back it up. I was talking on a panel with my brother and my dad, talking about business and advice to people who are wanting to start their business. And first of all, I do not like talking in public, even though we have this podcast and even though I like posting on social media. Talking to a group of people live is so different, and I don't like doing that. And people are so surprised when I tell them that because they think I love it and that it's easy for me. It's not. I hate it. I truly hate it. So I was like, listen, I'm just going to get this talk over with and I'm going to move on. And I did not want to tell Edward about it because I did not want him to go because it was going to make me more nervous. And then
But I don't get that. Like, to me, is like, I would want you to go because I'm only going to look at you and talk to you the whole time.
And that would be so weird. People would notice that.
I don't care. That would make it easier.
I just kept looking outside of a window. People probably thought, like, I was crazy or something, but...
You were looking to a window?
Yes. But...
Wow.
I did not want you to go. He was texting my parents what's the address? I'm like, if you show up, I'm literally not doing this talk. So you better not show up. And we got into it.
Don't say I never supported you.
I don't want you to go to that stuff.
Why?
I killed it, and you can watch the video if you want, but...
I still haven't seen the video.
I killed the talk.
I think you should put a clip of it.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that. This talk will never be seen on the internet, I promise you. I'll make sure
you didn't know?
You already posted it?
It's going viral.
No, but I feel like you not going helped me just like not be nervous and just be myself.
So you can't be yourself if I'm there.
I think that was your pit that you did not get an invite to the speech that I was giving.
That's over dramatizing it, but sure.
So
what was your other peak?
My peak was my haircut, and then went to go get coffee with your sister. And we went to the cutest coffee shop, like literally so
Which,
cute.
by the way,
trendy.
neither of you told me you guys were going.
Okay, well, we don't have to ask you for permission.
It's not permission. It's just like, if I was going with your brothers, you wouldn't want to know?
I don't
From
care.
their end or my end? Say it. Mean it.
I don't care if you hung out with my brothers and didn't
Fernando
tell
and
me.
Gabriel, are you guys listening? She does not care if I go out.
But my issue is that
Oh, here's where it gets funny.
here's where it gets funny, and let me tell you, you want me to tell the truth? I'll tell the truth.
I
I'll tell the truth.
don't want to know, but
I'll tell the truth.
the thing is,
Edward gets upset when I hang out with her sisters.
I don't get upset. What makes me mad is
I
just
think
that
you
if
get
like
FOMO. The truth is
that's
you
not
get
it. That's
FOMO.
not it.
The truth is
that's
you
not
get...
it. I just hate the double standard of if Fernando's like, "Oh, Edward, let's go."
Okay.
You want to know the place, time, date, location,
No.
what time I'll be back, and answer at any given time
Todo
the text
esto
and
es
call.
falso. Todo esto es
Okay,
falso, de verdad.
and you would get butthurt if Fern didn't tell you or I didn't tell you.
Oh, okay.
Facts?
Can I have my space to talk now?
Go ahead.
No
I'm
interruptions.
going to look into the abyss.
No interruptions.
Okay, I'm going to look into the abyss.
When I hang out with your sisters, we go to get coffee. We go get food. We go to the mall. We do innocent things. We hang out here at the house and watch a movie. Innocent things. But when you go out with my brothers, it's a different story, let me tell you, because what do they like to do? They like to go out.
Okay, but they're your brothers.
I'm not going out to the
But they're
club
your
with your
brothers. That's
sisters.
how we bond.
Maybe I will in the future, but I don't go out to the club with your sisters. But when I know this is my space to talk. When you tell me I'm hanging out with your brothers, I already know where you guys are gonna end up. And let me tell you,
Okay.
you ain't going to church the
But
next
they're
day.
your brothers.
Doesn't matter. I'm going to the library with your sisters, and you're going to the club with
The
my
what?
brothers. The library.
Library.
Library. Oh, you. The one that didn't know how to say.
Yeah, and that got
Casa.
drilled into my head.
I go to the library with your sisters,
Say it
and
again.
you. Library.
There's an R before the A.
Library.
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 Thank you.
Library.
Nope.
I go to the library
Thanks.
with your sisters.
You've
my
never been to the
parents-
library with them.
And my parents.
You don't like to
And
read.
my brothers go out to the club. Eso es
But what's
muy
wrong-
diferente, amigo. Eso es
But
muy
what's,
diferente.
but what's the difference between the club and the library?
Oh. Ask God that.
All right.
Yeah. So this is why I have an issue when you go out with my brothers, because I know they ain't going to no library.
But that's what I'm
I
saying.
know they ain't going to no
It's
Starbucks.
a double standard.
I know they ain't going to the mall.
100% it's
They're
a double
going
standard.
out to the club. No.
I don't believe it.
In the comments, please let me know who is right and who is wrong, because I know
All I'm saying is, if you want to know when I'm hanging out with your brothers, I gotta know when you're hanging out with my sisters.
my brothers are I love them, but they are something else. Something else.
They don't watch the podcast, but this is the podcast they're
They'll
gonna
watch
listen
this
to.
one, let me tell you. They when they want to hang out, it ain't no library, let me tell you.
It might be.
It might be, but let me tell you, it ain't. So this is why I don't need your permission to ask for your
It's
sisters
not
to go out.
permission.
But you need permission, because I know you ain't going to the
Oh,
club.
oh, wow.
You going to something else. Okay, so my pit was probably the speech I had to give.
That was your pit?
Yeah.
I thought you enjoyed it.
After, but the before was so nerve-wracking. Like literally on my way there, I was like sweating and shaking and doing it all because I was just nervous. But then after, it was just kind of like, I'm glad I got it over with. But yeah, that was my pit because
Because I wasn't there.
No, it was not that. I'm actually glad you were not there.
Why?
Because I already told you. So that was my pit, was that the speech I had to give. I hate talking in front of people. What about you? What was your peak and pit?
My peak this week was, actually, I had a lot of fun training. I'm going to be a groomsman at this Indian wedding. My friends. I don't think it's fully traditional because I was asking about them yesterday, but I'm part of like this dance and stuff. So we went to the rehearsal yesterday. I got 2 more rehearsals coming next week. But
Is that your peak or pit?
no, that's my peak.
Oh, okay.
That was fun.
Yeah, the dance and everything. Yeah.
And I got to learn like a couple of their dance moves and stuff.
Is it hard?
It's pretty hard.
Yeah.
They got quick feet.
Yeah.
They got quick feet. And I don't know, like I've never really taken dance classes before or anything, so like definitely challenging. I broke a sweat.
Yeah.
Dancing is hard. I remember like when I was in high school, I did like a Mr. Highland dance. I remember like I was sore for like 4 days after that.
Really?
Yeah. And then for this one, yeah, I was pretty. I feel pretty sore right now.
I've seen a lot of Indian weddings and they are very nice, extravagant. Their dances are crazy. So when you told me you were going to be a part of this wedding, I was like, get ready because you're going to have to move your feet really quick at the dances.
Yeah. But and then for the groomsmen part, like we have a couple of things coming up, so
yeah,
we'll see.
That will be fun. This is your first wedding that you're a part of?
First wedding to be like in the bridal party for sure. But
really?
This is not like my first friend getting married, no.
No, but like you're a part of it.
Uh-huh. And then I have another one in October next year, and I'm part of the groomsmen there too. Well, no. I'm part of the bridal party too, but
bridal party?
Right? Or what is it?
So you're gonna be standing behind the bride?
No.
So you're gonna be wearing a dress?
I thought the bridal party is like either side.
No.
So what is it called?
The bridal party is like when you're with the girl.
Oh, no, then I'm not
Groomsmen party.
Okay, well, I'm part of the groomsmen party.
I thought you were wearing a dress.
Yeah. And so no, that'll
be fun.
No, it will be. When I got suited, we actually have to pick it up today. And that's our next Saturday plans. It's like I have all day events because they're doing like 4 like little celebrations or something like that. It's crazy.
Oh my god! So they have a lot of like pre-wedding.
Yeah, they have a Thursday engagement dinner, Friday like rehearsal dinner. That's actually a dinner, and then the dance rehearsal on Friday, and then Saturday is like the ceremony and the party, and yeah, it's just
dang, that's gonna be
loads of fun.
That's gonna be good.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
I think that's one thing that I'm stressed about is finding a dress to wear.
There's a dress code, don't forget.
Yeah, I know. You sent me the dress code and I was like, oh my god, I don't think I have anything in my closet. So that's going to be the mission this week.
And then Pit. Oh yeah, one of our vendors didn't show up with the supply or whatever. Do you remember that?
Oh, like the creams.
We ordered like this like ice cream mix for like some stuff that we sell. And he's like, oh, we can't, like the pallet didn't arrive here or anything. It was on Friday. And I was out with my cousin because his birthday was on Tuesday.
So you guys were celebrating and then you got this call.
Yeah. So, I mean, we were just eating wings. And then we're like, oh my God. So we cut it short. And then the facility that we could pick it up at was an hour and a half away. No, like hour and 10 minutes. But it was an hour and a half because of traffic.
Oh my God.
And then he's like, you guys have to get here before 4:30. We got there at 4:22. And like they were like closing up and everything. Like while I was parking, I sent my cousin out so that he could go.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have made it if he didn't come because we took the carpool the whole time.
Yeah.
It's just like Arizona's getting bad with traffic. Like there's so many people moving
in.
Yeah. So we get there. We load up real quick and then we dropped them off at his store, which was close to there. And then we came here, dropped it off at mine, and then that literally killed our whole time we were supposed to like spend together. I think he went to go hang out with his girlfriend. So,
and it's not like you couldn't get the creams because that's like our number one seller, and we would have not had it all weekend, our busiest day. Bad. So it was like it was either you booked it or
like be sold out for like all Sunday, and it's like nah, like
and that's what people come for.
Yeah.
So. That's good. But at least you were able to get it, you know, even though it was a mission to drive out there.
Yeah. So we have some and then Monday I have to go get some more because it was extremely expensive. Like usually we'll get a case for like $55, and then we just found that vendor that we had switched to who was selling it for 45. Pay like $85 for these bags. So I only got enough to survive the weekend, and then Monday I'll be finding someone. There's always something going on. So it'll be fun.
So you know what I was seeing the other week? That I think it was a video on TikTok that I saw that this girl's mom was saying, like, when you have a husband, you have to be the one to make his food every morning, wake up before he does and feed him, do his laundry, clean the house, and like at family parties, you need to be the one serving him. And it was funny because the girl was like, Mom, like, that's not a thing anymore. Like that tradition of like...
Do you feel like it's a thing though still?
I think if you go to Mexico, it's used more than here.
No, for sure.
Like for us that we are Mexican Americans.
But don't even like include race in it. Like just look at the overall spectrum. Like just any relationship you can think of. Like, is it a thing still or no?
I don't think so. I don't think here anymore. Like I think, well, specifically in the US, like now more than ever, the lady has a job. She's independent. It's a 2-income household versus, you know, back in the day, it used to just be the man working. He was the breadwinner. Now it's both. And I think that is really great because there's more income, but there's also positive and negatives to that because now if the wife isn't staying home, who's keeping the house clean? Who's taking care of the kids? Daycare for new moms is insanely expensive. If you don't have either your mom or your husband's mom helping you or somebody in the family, you're paying. They were saying that like daycare costs almost as much as college. Like it has gone up like crazy. And if you are not home, like if you are somebody that is working a 9 to 5, you might need help with the laundry, with keeping the house clean. So you hire that out. So it's tough because like, yes, it's 2 incomes now, but then now you're kind of like having to outsource things and it kind of gets expensive. So I think it's great that, you know, like women are now being more independent and they're having their own jobs. And I think it's great. So I think now there should not be the, at a party, you have to feed your husband. Like, I think that idea of like, I think that's just so ridiculous. Like, it's such double standards. Like, why can't you feed me? Or if I'm already there, I'll feed you. But it's not like you're going to be, every time we go to a family party, you sit down and you're waiting for me to feed you.
But also,
I think that's ridiculous.
No, yeah, but I feel like the reason why we end up still doing it is because of the pressure. Like, yes. Because, like, what if, like, I'm with, like, all the guys, they're all getting served, and then you don't serve me? Like, oh, no, look at Brianna, you know, like, it's that. But, like, usually it's because, like, we'll be with, like, an older crowd or something, right?
Yeah,
and
like,
that's a thing.
And I think they might judge the fact that, like, I feed myself and I sit down.
Yeah.
And it's happened before, and I think, like, it's ridiculous because I'm like, he can serve himself. Like, he's more than capable.
I remember that they used to clown my dad and my uncle Edwin because they'd hold like the little diaper bags. Mm-hmm. And they'd be like, "Oh, you guys look like a couple. Like, put that down." And I mean, to me, I'm like, well, it's not like they cared, right? So they were just like laugh it off or whatever, still carry it. But I'm like, my dad could have easily been like, "Oh, here," you know?
But when you say that, that comes to mind, like, there's nothing more that boils my blood when I see the mom with the carrier, the bag, a backpack.
And the dad chilling.
And the dad not doing anything. Yeah. Oh my God. I see it way too much. Like,
yeah, no, it's a thing.
I see it way too much. And truly when I see, and it's usually like an older couple. And what I have been seeing now with like the younger generation is the dad carrying the daughter in the stroller and the mom
Yeah.
a little less with everything. And I think I'm so glad that our generation is turning that around now. Like that the dad can change the diapers, that the dad can go feed the baby. It's like the mom carried the baby for 9 months. I think it has
everything to do with like what you're saying. Like now, there's no such thing as like all households are like man led. Like now, there's women that make a ton more money than their partners and stuff like that. And I mean, to me, that's great because that has helped shape all that. Which to me is like, you know, like just sad because like sometimes I'll see like even like my older aunts or like, you know, people that I know like my parents like really love and stuff. Like we'll go visit them and then like my old uncle was sitting there and like my aunt is just as old but like she has to be like, you know, making his food, bringing it to him. I'm like, she's just as like, or like sometimes like imagine me going to my mom's house and she's still like, and she's 80 and I'm still expecting her to like cook me something, serve it to me. I mean, don't get me wrong, it would be really nice to like get a meal from my mom that I still remember and I'll always like cherish that. But to the point that my mom can't even do it and I'm like, hey mom, like serve me, you know, like just because she's a woman. And I see that a lot and I'm like, dude, like she's here to visit you, like let her rest, go get some pizza. Go get some. Yeah. So it's just stuff like that. But no, I mean, I think we all have to adapt. But I really do hate also when like someone that's like, and it's usually people that are alone that take this mentality that they don't think that like, oh, they'll use like, oh, I don't need a woman. Oh, I don't need a man. But I'm like, it has nothing to do with like what a man or a woman does. Like, just think about it on a companionship end. Like, it is easier going through life with an extra set of hands. Like, just look at it like that. Like, you know? So I'm like, you can't neglect the fact that if you were with somebody and like you guys were just helping each other, things would be easier. Mm-hmm. Like, just think of a bill. Like, if you guys were splitting it, easier. Mm-hmm. If she took over the light bill, like, you wouldn't have a $400, something like that.
A kid, like, yeah, hey, a kid. This night I'll stay up. The next night I'm gonna sleep in.
Yeah, like, or things to do around the house or whatever. If it's money, like actual like labor or whatever, like. But I always see that because like it's extremists of like girls saying, oh, I don't need a guy, extremists of guys, or vice versa. You know, sometimes like it would be just people neglecting that companionship aids in any way. I'm like, I think you're completely wrong, because like you can't go through life like taking every battle alone.
Yeah,
I mean you can, but it'll definitely make it harder. But
there's a lot of people that are just like very independent, which is good as well, but sometimes they take it to an extreme and try to prove people that, oh, I can do it alone. But like, if you have somebody that, you know, really cares for you and is wanting to help, I think that is going to help you propel in life 10 times faster than you doing it alone. Obviously, if you are in a relationship that's not healthy, it's kind of like maybe you'll have to figure it out alone.
As long as it's a healthy, like, stable relationship, like there's no reason to be like trying to prove people wrong. Like I'm like, dude, like it's a blessing within itself. Like I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, that always irks me. I'm like, dude, like
I just think little by little traditions like that the women only used to do, like I am seeing more stay-at-home dads. And I don't know, I kind of like it. Like
okay, we are not phasing into that.
Listen. If the woman has opportunity to make more money, let's say if like
no, I mean that makes sense. Like
if she has the degree and he doesn't, and that will bring in more income. I think that's a great opportunity. You know?
No, I do too.
And like I've seen a lot with like the girl's the content creator and she's making crazy amount with brand deals. And he's staying at home taking care of the kids. I think it's wherever the opportunity's at. If that's either with the man or the woman. Like, and I think that's being accepted more.
But also, like, that could very easily be misinterpreted to, like, saying that the guy is lazy. Because, like, at the end of the day, there has to be some expectation of what he's doing at home. If he's raising the kids, like, what's the other expectation? Like, is that it? Like, you know?
Yeah.
Or
And
like, would it bother you that like you came home and he was gaming? Would it bother you that you came home and like,
yeah,
you know, stuff like that? Like, I feel like there's a lot of room for misinterpretation if like boundaries
definitely.
aren't set.
Definitely. And if the woman is working, then the man has to be doing everything that the woman would usually be doing, taking care of the kids, laundry, food, house. Like, and trust me, being a stay-at-home mom and taking care of at least just one kid and the house is a full-time job in itself. So if the man is a stay-at-home dad, that's what he should be doing. Because if I get home and like you're the stay-at-home dad and the dishes are dirty, the house is dirty, and you're gaming with but the baby's next to you, I don't know. Maybe I'll get a little mad. So that's kind of the thing
But
where
again, like, there's also like, think about it on a perspective. There's also a double standard in that because like, think about it. Like, my mom was a stay-at-home mom for the longest time. Like, when we moved here, she didn't know English, so like the easiest thing was for her to stay home and raise us because we were all at a very critical time of our life, right? So for at least 10 years, my mom wasn't working. And it's like, imagine what you're saying right now. If my dad did that, I think it would have really bothered me. There was plenty of times that the dishes weren't done, you know, whatever, because she had to take us to soccer, then pick us up, then this and this and this, blah, blah, blah. And then we got home and it's Arizona. She was beat. She hops on the couch, turns on the TV, whatever. My dad never, like, rubbed that on her face. And I think if he would have, it really would have pissed me off.
yeah, because she was busy taking you guys in something else.
I know, but
yeah.
I'm saying that leaves so much room to
yeah.
like be open to like a fight or something that you genuinely, if someone's a stay-at-home mom, you just have to respect it, or stay-at-home dad.
No, I get it. I get it.
But you see what I'm
Because she
saying?
was busy doing other things with the kids.
But what if sometimes she wasn't?
I don't know. I don't know.
Like, think about how that would have looked like on my dad's end if like he would have been pissed about that.
I don't know. I think
It's easier said than done.
it is. It is. And obviously we don't have kids, so we've never gone through this. But just my opinion, if I'm working all day and then like you literally haven't done anything for 10 hours, you've been playing video games and the baby's next to you.
I know what you're saying.
I'm gonna get mad, you know? Like,
but like why would you know that I wasn't like dealing with the baby like all day?
yeah.
And then I'm like, I didn't even have room.
And
like,
that's
you sent me a
fine.
video yesterday of the girl, and she's like, dude, like, be sure you want to be a mom. Like, my kid just squatted and pooped all over the carpet and left a trail. And then when I told her to stop and stand there and I was going to throw her in the shower, she grabbed poop, threw it against the wall. Like, what if I was dealing with that for 9 hours and you come home, you're like, you haven't done anything. Like, you would make me feel like crap. I'd be like, dude, like, I just finished cleaning the carpet.
Yeah.
But in your eyes, it'll look like I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. You kind of have to, like, not even say anything. Because, like, that could, like, completely destroy your relationship.
Yeah.
Like, if my dad would have came home one day and was like, you haven't done anything all day, without knowing, like, maybe my mom was sick or something.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think that's a thing. There's no way you could pull up that hot. Like,
I sent you that video and I was like, are you sure you want to have kids? We still have time. Because she was like, please think about it. Please.
she was all sweaty.
She looked like she had gone through some, like, a tornado disaster because she looked very flustered. And there's a girl, and she's called The Girl with the List. Have you seen it? It's this TikTok account that she puts all these reasons on why not to have kids, and she's at like reason 300 right now, and people are just tagging her like with videos of like, my kid did this, my kid did that, and things that like nobody has ever told anybody that you don't know until you have kids. So she's called The Girl with the List, and let me tell you, I've been seeing all her videos and I don't know, because it looks scary.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think like having a kid is a joke.
They
like,
test you.
you're just responsible for somebody. Like, the fact that like you have to like 120% put somebody over your like selfish self is like insane.
But they're smarter than you, and they test you. They know how to
for
test
sure.
you.
That's what I'm telling you. I mean, I was for sure like always like on the lookout trying to outsmart my mom. And I did a couple times, and plenty of times actually. And
I
Yeah.
I feel so bad for your mom, truly.
I know.
Truly. I think your
She deserves
sisters
the
were
world.
your sisters were easy on her, but I think
Yeah.
you really made it up.
Yeah, I tested her limits. But I was the only guy. My sisters were calm, and they would learn from like me getting spanked and stuff like
Yeah, they'd
that.
be watching from the corner.
Or I'd be grounded, and they'd be like, "We don't want to be grounded. Like you go away." I'd be
Yeah.
like, "Oh crap." Like, Emily, can I borrow your? No, you're grounded.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But in overall, I think the Mexican tradition and double standards is still alive for sure, more than not.
yeah.
But I think little by little, it's getting changed. And I'm glad. I'm glad to see it. I'm glad that things are getting changed around and there's no double standards. As much as, like, there's still a double standard, but not as much as back in the day.
No, yeah. I mean, like things have gotten better, and
So,
I mean, even if it's little by little change, like it'll get there at some point.
yeah. Hope to see it, but that is it for today's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching or listening. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Have an amazing week.